What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, there are cells inside your body that refuse to die? They are not functioning. They are not dividing. They are not doing anything useful at all. But they are doing something. They are releasing a constant stream of toxic chemicals that damage every healthy cell around them. Scientists call them zombie cells. And after the age of 60, your body is full of them. These zombie cells are directly linked to cancer, to arthritis, to memory loss, to heart disease, to nearly every condition that makes aging feel like a slow collapse. And for decades, there was nothing anyone could do about them. Your doctor could not remove them. No surgery could target them. No pill could clear them. They just sat there, spreading damage, year after year. But here is what changed everything. Researchers have now identified a natural compound found in a food that costs less than $1 that has the ability to eliminate these zombie cells from your body, not mask them, not slow them down, eliminate them. And the science behind it is not fringe, it is not theoretical. It comes from the Mayo Clinic, the National Institutes of Health, and multiple clinical trials involving real patients. I am going to walk you through every piece of it today. What zombie cells are, how they form, why they accelerate every disease of aging, and exactly how to use this one compound to start clearing them from your body this week. I am Dr. Margaret Hale, 28 years in integrative medicine and clinical nutrition, and this is one of the most important conversations we have ever had on this channel. Let me tell you about Florence. Florence is 71, retired school librarian from Savannah, Georgia. She came to me 3 years ago because she could not figure out what was going wrong. She was eating well, walking every morning, taking her vitamins, but her joints were getting worse. Her memory was slipping. Her energy was vanishing by 2 in the afternoon, and her blood work kept coming back with elevated inflammatory markers that no one could explain. Her previous doctor told her it was just aging, that she should accept it. But Florence did not accept it. And when I ran a more detailed panel and started looking at her cellular health, I found something that explained everything. Her body was overwhelmed with senescent cells, zombie cells. So what exactly is a zombie cell? To understand this, you need to understand how your body handles damage. Every single day, your body produces billions of new cells. And every single day, some of those cells come out wrong. Damaged DNA, faulty programming, environmental stress. It is constant. But your body has an elegant system for dealing with this. When a cell gets damaged, whether from stress, toxins, ultraviolet radiation, or simply the wear of time, it is supposed to do one of 2 things. Either repair itself completely or self-destruct through a process called apoptosis. That is your body's quality control system. Damaged cell detected, damaged cell removed. Clean and efficient. It has worked this way for your entire life. But sometimes, something goes wrong. A damaged cell does neither. It stops dividing. It stops performing its function. But it refuses to die. It enters a state of permanent suspension. Not alive in any useful sense. Not dead. Somewhere in between. It becomes senescent. A zombie. And here is the problem. That zombie cell does not just sit there quietly. It starts releasing a cocktail of inflammatory chemicals called the SASP, the senescence-associated secretory phenotype. Think of it like a broken car alarm in a parking garage. The car is not going anywhere. It is not useful. But that alarm is blaring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And every car around it starts getting damaged by the noise and vibration. That is exactly what a zombie cell does to your tissues. It sends out interleukin-6, interleukin-1 alpha, matrix metalloproteinases, tumor necrosis factor. These are not obscure chemicals. These are the exact inflammatory markers that drive cancer growth, arterial plaque, cartilage destruction, and neurodegeneration. By the time you reach 60, the number of zombie cells in your body has increased dramatically. A study published in Nature by Baker and colleagues at the Mayo Clinic in 2016 showed something extraordinary. When researchers removed just 60 to 70% of senescent cells from aging mice, those animals lived 17 to 35% longer. Their tumors shrank. Their hearts got stronger. Their kidneys functioned better. They moved faster. They were biologically younger, 35% longer lifespan, from removing cells that were already broken. Let me say that again, because it matters. 35% longer lifespan, not by adding something new, by removing something broken. The mice did not receive an exotic drug. They did not undergo gene therapy. The researchers simply cleared the cellular debris that had been accumulating for years, and the body did the rest. That study changed the entire field of aging research overnight. And it raised the obvious question: can we do the same thing in humans? The answer is yes, and the compound that makes it possible is called quercetin. Quercetin is a flavonoid, a natural plant pigment found in some of the most common foods in the world: red onions, apples, capers, berries, and it has a remarkable ability. It can selectively target senescent cells and trigger the self-destruct mechanism that those cells have been blocking. In 2019, researchers at the Mayo Clinic, led by Dr. James Kirkland, conducted the first human clinical trial using quercetin as a senolytic agent. They gave patients with diabetic kidney disease a combination of dasatinib and quercetin for just 3 days. 3 days. And within 11 days, they measured significant reductions in senescent cell burden. The levels of interleukin-6 dropped. Interleukin-1 alpha dropped. The inflammatory cascade that had been running unchecked for years began to quiet down. Now here is what I need you to understand. Quercetin is the only natural flavonoid that has been tested in human clinical trials, specifically for its ability to clear zombie cells. Not in a petri dish, not in theory. In real patients, with real measurements, published in real peer-reviewed journals. And just this month, May 2026, the Mayo Clinic published new research showing that synthetic DNA molecules called aptamers can now identify and tag senescent cells with unprecedented precision. This means the science of clearing zombie cells is accelerating faster than ever, and quercetin sits right at the center of it. Now I want to stop here and tell you something that connects directly to what we are talking about. One of the reasons zombie cells cause so much damage is because of that inflammatory cascade I mentioned, the SASP. That constant flood of inflammatory signals does not stay local. It spreads through your bloodstream. It reaches your arteries, your brain, your joints, every organ. And one of the most effective ways to combat that systemic inflammation, alongside clearing the zombie cells themselves, is to support your body with compounds that reduce inflammation at its source. I have spent years researching this, and I found a tea blend that contains specific anti-inflammatory and circulatory compounds that work on the same pathways that zombie cells attack. Quercetin targets the cells directly. This blend targets the inflammatory damage they leave behind. If you want to see what it is, I left the link right at the top of the description. First line. It takes 10 seconds. Now let me tell you why most people have no idea this is happening inside them. Zombie cells do not show up on a standard blood test. Your doctor is not checking for them. There is no line item on your annual physical that says senescent cell count. So they accumulate silently, and the symptoms they cause, the joint pain, the brain fog, the fatigue, the slow wound healing, all of those get attributed to normal aging. But they are not normal aging. They are cellular pollution. Let me give you the protocol. How to use quercetin from food to start supporting your body's ability to clear these cells. Step 1. Red onions. Not white onions, not yellow onions. Red onions. Red onions contain approximately 39 milligrams of quercetin per 100 grams. That is 4 to 5 times more than white onions. The quercetin is concentrated in the outer layers, the layers closest to the skin. So when you peel a red onion, do not remove more than one layer. Most people strip away 2 or 3 layers and throw them in the trash. They are throwing away the most potent part. Step 2. Eat them raw or lightly cooked. Quercetin is heat sensitive. If you sauté your onions until they are caramelized and golden, you have destroyed most of the quercetin. The best approach is to add sliced raw red onion to salads, sandwiches, or on top of soups after they have cooled slightly. If you must cook them, keep the heat low and the time short. 3 to 4 minutes maximum. A quick toss in a warm pan with olive oil. That is all you need. The moment they start turning translucent and soft, you have gone too far. Step 3. Apples with the skin on. Quercetin in apples is almost entirely in the peel. The flesh of the apple contains very little. When you peel an apple, you lose up to 90% of the quercetin content. One medium apple with the skin provides about 15 to 19 milligrams of quercetin. Choose red apples over green. Red Delicious, Fuji, and Gala have the highest concentrations. Step 4. Capers. This is the secret weapon that almost nobody knows about. Capers contain more quercetin per gram than any other food on Earth, up to 234 milligrams per 100 grams. That is 6 times more than red onions. A single tablespoon of capers gives you 15 to 21 milligrams. Sprinkle them on fish, pasta, salads, or eggs. They are inexpensive, available in every grocery store, and most people walk right past them. Step 5. Pair with a fat sauce. Quercetin is fat-soluble, which means your body absorbs it dramatically better when you eat it with fat. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on your onion and caper salad is not just for taste, it is a delivery mechanism. Without fat, much of the quercetin passes through your digestive system without being absorbed. Now there is one more thing about quercetin that most people never hear about. It does not just clear existing zombie cells, it also helps prevent healthy cells from becoming senescent in the first place. A study published in the journal Aging Cell in 2020 showed that quercetin activates a family of proteins called sirtuins. Sirtuins are your body's internal repair crew. They protect DNA from damage, they regulate inflammation, and they help cells maintain their identity and function as they age. When sirtuin activity drops, which happens naturally after 60, cells become more vulnerable to senescence. Quercetin helps keep that protective system running. Think of it this way. Imagine a neighborhood watch program. Quercetin is not just chasing away the intruders who already broke in. It is also strengthening the locks on every door so fewer intruders get in tomorrow. That dual action is what makes it so extraordinary. Now let me talk about the 3 mistakes that destroy the benefits. Mistake number 1. Relying on supplements alone without food sources. Many people hear about quercetin and immediately order a 500 milligram capsule online. But studies show that quercetin from whole foods is absorbed differently and often more effectively because of the synergistic compounds present in the food matrix. The fiber, the other flavonoids, the vitamin C in onions and apples, all of these enhance quercetin absorption and activity. Supplements can be a complement. They should not be your only strategy. Mistake number 2, inconsistency. This is the big one. The senolytic effect of quercetin is not a one-time event. Zombie cells are being created in your body every single day, Stress creates them. Pollution creates them. Even normal metabolic processes create them. If you eat quercetin-rich foods once a week, you are not keeping pace with the production of new senescent cells. This needs to be a daily practice. Red onion on your lunch salad, an apple with the skin in the afternoon, capers on your dinner. Every day. Mistake number 3. Cooking everything at high heat. I already touched on this, but it deserves its own section because so many people get it wrong. High heat destroys quercetin. If every vegetable you eat is roasted at 400 degrees or stir-fried in a smoking hot pan, you are getting the fiber but losing the flavonoid. Raw, steamed, or very lightly sautéed is the way to preserve what matters. Let me tell you what happened with Florence. After we identified her elevated senescent cell markers, I put her on a protocol that included daily quercetin-rich foods paired with anti-inflammatory support, red onion in every salad, an apple every afternoon, capers on her fish 3 times a week. Within 2 months, her inflammatory markers began to drop. Within 4 months, her joint pain had decreased noticeably. She told me one morning that she had woken up and realized she had slept through the night without pain for the first time in 2 years. Florence did not take an expensive drug. She did not undergo a procedure. She changed what she put on her plate. Every single day. I asked her recently how she would describe the difference. She thought about it for a moment and said, "I feel like someone turned the lights back on. I did not know they had dimmed until they came back." That is what clearing zombie cells feels like. You do not realize how much damage they were causing until the damage starts to reverse. And that is the point. Zombie cells are real. The damage they cause is real. But the solution is not locked behind a pharmacy counter. It is sitting in the produce section of your grocery store, in a red onion that costs 70 cents. Now I want to share one more study that brings this all together. Researchers at the University of Minnesota, working in collaboration with the Mayo Clinic, published a comprehensive review in 2021 showing that natural senolytics like quercetin and fisetin being another flavonoid found in strawberries, can reduce senescent cell burden in multiple tissue types: adipose tissue, skin, kidneys. And that reduction correlated directly with lower levels of circulating inflammatory markers, the same markers that drive cancer progression, arterial stiffness, and cognitive decline. This is not one study making a bold claim. This is a pattern. Study after study after study pointing at the same conclusion. Clear the zombie cells, and the body begins to repair itself. And there is more coming. The field of senolytics is exploding right now. In May 2026, just weeks ago, the Mayo Clinic announced a breakthrough using synthetic DNA molecules called aptamers that can tag zombie cells with pinpoint accuracy. This means that in the near future, doctors may be able to identify exactly which tissues in your body have the highest zombie cell concentration and target them directly. We are living through a revolution in aging science, and the foundation of that revolution is the same compound sitting in your kitchen right now: quercetin. I want you to think about something for a moment. Every day that you do not address the zombie cells in your body is another day they are releasing inflammatory signals. Another day they are damaging the healthy cells around them. Another day they are contributing to the conditions that make people feel old before their time. But every day that you eat a red onion, an apple with the skin, a spoonful of capers, you are giving your body the tools to fight back. You are sending in the eviction notice. If someone you care about is over 60 and dealing with unexplained inflammation, joint pain, brain fog, or fatigue, send them this video right now. They deserve to know about this. Drop a comment below and tell me, did you know about zombie cells before today? I want to hear from you. And if this is the kind of research you want to keep seeing here, subscribe. I release new evidence-based content every 2 days, and I promise you, what is coming next will shock you. Let me leave you with this. Your body is not falling apart because of your age. It is being attacked from the inside by cells that should have been removed years ago. Cells that are pumping out inflammatory chemicals around the clock. Cells that are accelerating cancer, stiffening your arteries, eating away at your cartilage, and clouding your memory. And now you know what to do about it. 1 red onion, 1 apple with the skin on, a tablespoon of capers, a drizzle of olive oil, every single day. That is the protocol. It costs less than $2 a day. And the research from the Mayo Clinic, the National Institutes of Health, and multiple peer-reviewed clinical trials says it works. Oh, and that tea blend I mentioned earlier, the one that targets the same inflammatory pathways that zombie cells activate, it is right there in the description. First line. 1 click. I will see you in the next one. We are going to talk about something the World Health Organization officially classified as a Group 1 carcinogen, the same category as cigarettes and asbestos, and 80% of people over 60 eat it every single morning without knowing. You do not want to miss that. Dr. Margaret Hale,